We are on the Al-Bayan segment, inshallah. And with me here is my very good Ustaz Mustafa A. Suleiman. He is the Amir of Umabai Muslim Community. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. How is the Ramadan so far?
Alhamdulillah, going well.
I can see it's turning very coolly on you, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. The topic at hand today is Amanna, trust.
Yeah.
I know most people want to hear what that actually is. And inshallah, I believe you're going to do justice to it, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Bismillah.
نعم أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من حمزه ونفخه ونفثه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most sincerely for making it easy for us to be here today. We ask Allah ta'ala to make this an act of ibadah for us and to make it beneficial for us in this life and the akhirah. Ameen. The topic at hand is Amanna, Al-Amanna. Inshallah, we are going to try as much as possible to coin it, as there are a lot of things to say about Amanna. However, the message will still be very well pronounced so that we can benefit as well. Literally, we are aware that Amanna means trust, and that's the literal meaning of Amanna. However, in the Islamic technicalities, Amanna can have two specifications. We have the general meaning of Amanna, and we have the specific meaning of Amanna. Now, the general meaning of Amanna is gotten from the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that the Amanna was given to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, and they declined, meaning that the responsibilities of morals, of worship, and so on were given to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, and they declined this responsibility. However, man, Allah Ta'ala says, accepted it, easily without thinking about the complications and so on. So Allah Ta'ala says man was unjust to himself. And that is where the meaning came from. And many of the ulama, including Ibn Jarir al-Tabari, who is also Mufassir. In fact, he is the one that is known as Sayyid al-Tafsir, that is the leader of all the Tafsir of Ahl Sunnah wa Jama'ah, because his was the first, So he also accepted this particular translation to mean that what the ayah talks about is that everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to do, everything he has put, in our care, is what is regarded as Amanna. That means whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us to take care of, has entrusted to us, which includes our physical faculties, like our organs, our physical organs first, our eyes, our skin, everything, whatever Allah ta'ala has given to us is a trust. And it is expected for a believer to handle these very carefully. For example, it is not allowed, it's not permissible in Islam for a human being to go out and remove his hand for no reason, or to deform himself for no reason at all, except there is something very crucial, maybe out of a particular illness, or it is a form of punishment, a legislative punishment that has to take place, maybe by the court and so on and so forth. So if there is no legitimate reason that a human being, a Muslim, is not permitted to harm himself, to injure himself, to take something away from himself and so on, whether for sake of beautification and the likes. This is because whatever Allah Ta'ala has given to us is an Amanna for us. It is a trust for us that we are expected to keep. We're expected to take care of these, just the way Allah Ta'ala has given them to us. And as well, all the commandments of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, all the do's and don'ts that are contained in the Quran, just like Allah Ta'ala tells us that the Quran is a guide, it's a constitution. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. It is a guide for those who are pious, who are righteous. And then he continues to explain the meaning of those who are pious, those who have taqwa, by saying those who believe in the unseen, and those who observe their salawat, and those who give out of what they have been given, and so on and so forth. So all of these duties put together are all also part of the meaning of Amanna. So that is the general sense of the word Amanna. Meaning what Allah Ta'ala has given to us of our physical features including our private parts. This is a very important aspect of it. You know, it has been given to us to take care of. Allah Ta'ala mentions when He was describing the quality of the believers, when He said, after He said, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, that the believers have already succeeded, and He started mentioning those people who are believers, who are true believers, you know, their qualities. And then He got to a place where Allah Ta'ala mentioned those who take care of their chastity, who guard their chastity, except to their wives, lawfully married wives, and to, you know, their slaves that their right hands possess, and so on. So Allah Ta'ala mentions that we should take care of our privacy as a result of the fact that it is an Amanna for us. It is a kind of trust that Allah has given to us. And then Rasulullah was asked that what are the things that will take people to paradise, you know, mostly on the day of Qiyamah, and the things that people to hellfire mostly on that day. And he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said that what people to paradise are two main things. He said they are taqwa Allah wa husnul khulq. That is, they are fear of Allah, consciousness of Allah, and then good character. Then he said, as for those things that are able to hellfire, mostly they are two as well. And he said, al-famu wal-farj. That is the mouth and the private parts. You know, that means if one does not take care of their private parts, if one does not stay away from zina, fornication, adultery, then that will be a reason for them to enter hellfire. You know, may Allah Ta'ala save us from such. So it is part of the trust that Allah has given to us that we take care of our privacy, just like we take care of all other duties that Allah has bestowed upon us. Now, part of the duty is for us as believers to learn. Now, we're going to go to the specific meaning of Amanna. But first, we are dealing with general sense of the word. Now, it is also part of our duty for a believer to want to learn, you know. And that's the reason why Allah obliged Rasulullah to read, you know, as the first occasion where the Quran was revealed to him. So it means that it is our duty to want to learn. And the Prophet has made it clear that everybody, knowledge is compulsory upon everybody, male or female, every Muslim, you know. So it therefore means that it is part of our duties towards Allah that we go and learn. And after learning, we should use that knowledge in a beneficial way, you know, to benefit ourselves, our families, and the society. And it is not permissible to learn and keep knowledge to yourself, so you use it for yourself alone. No, we have to learn and then take it to our families, teach our families, better our families, and then go to the societies. This is what Amanna in that regard is all about. Now, having talked, you know, little about Amanna in general sense, we'll now talk about Amanna in its specific sense. Specifically, Amanna talks about also a variety of areas. So we're going to be looking at 3 areas, inshallah, that Amanna refers to specifically, 3 scenarios. Now, the first scenario is the financial rights. Now, Amanna in this regard also is broken down into certain segments. We have we have Amanna in possessions that have been entrusted to our care. You know, whether finances, whether any other valuable. Now, in this sense, we have a possession, we have the Amanna that is referred to, or rather, we have the possession that refers to the Amanna, or rather, we have the Amanna that we use to refer to that particular item or valuable that has been entrusted to the care of another person. You know, so for example, if I get away my phone and say, keep this phone for me. Now, in that regard, the phone becomes the Amanna, becomes the trust. Now, if I should also give him a video camera, whatever, I say, keep this for me, then that becomes a trust. I can also say, look after my family while I am away. Now, that one also is trust. That's Amanna. So, in that regard, that particular item that has been placed in the care of another person is the Amanna. Then there's another sense of Amanna, which is a kind of contract. Okay, a contract in which the Amanna is implied. That means, in this case, the Amanna is not the primary focus. It is not the item that has been given to be kept by another person. And the Amanna in this case is the trust that somebody has for another person that can make them enter into maybe a business contract with that person. So it becomes an implied meaning now. So if I trust you, I can say, okay, let's go into partnership. You know, so I know I can trust you with my money. I know when you are there, nothing will go missing and so on. So that is a kind of Amanna that is placed on somebody, you know, and not really on that commodity that is being. So these are two, though they are kind of related. The first one is the particular commodity or item or contract that is being entrusted to somebody. So that particular commodity is the amana itself. Whereas the other one is the implied form, which entails, the trust that somebody has for another person to be able to bring that person into a contract, maybe renting out something to that person, maybe borrowing and so on. Because if there is no trust, then such will not go on. There will be no borrowing, there will be no renting, there will be no contract, partnerships and so on. So this is the implied sense of it. Then we also have the third scenario, which is cases where there are no contract at all. There are no agreements at all. Such as when I see a missing property on the floor, and then I pick it. So that becomes into my care. So I have to take care of it. I have to ensure that nothing happens to it, doesn't go missing until I find the owner. And if I don't find the owner, it becomes mine. So that one is another kind of trust. But that trust now is not from the agreement, or it's not a result of agreement between two parties. It is just between that person and Allah, and his own conscience now. So these are the three scenarios that we look into whenever we discuss amana, in the sense of being, financial assets or any other, assets. Then, amana can also be seen in keeping the secrets of other persons. Now, Rasulullah has said in many hadith. Now, in one of them, he said that the most evil people in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of Qiyamah will be a man who will become intimate with his wife, and then his wife become intimate with him, and then after they go out and they broadcast themselves, their privacies. They tell other people, this is how my wife is, and this is how my husband is. So such people, the Prophet said, they will be the most evil people before Allah Ta'ala. That means they have not kept each other's secrets. In another narration, where the Prophet was with a number of companions, and then he asked them, he said, who amongst you has intercourse with his wife, and then goes to his brother and tells the brother about the wife? Then they were all silent, they were all quiet. So one of the women there stood up and said, by Allah, ya O Messenger of Allah, all of them here do it. So all of them. So the Prophet said, nobody does such except he will be like maybe like the male shaitan and the female shaitan who go outside to have intimacy in the public. That is their similitude. The fact that they have intimacy with their spouses home and they go outside to broadcast. So that means they become like the shayateen who will go outside and they do this outside. By implication, being intimate outside the house, outside the rooms, is not permissible. So that's what's implied from that particular narration. That it's not permissible for your husband and your wife, for example, to go outside and maybe kiss each other, just like we see in movies and television shows and all of that. And then many couples today see it as free. Nothing is wrong with it. Why can't we do that? People do it in the Western world. So we say we don't follow our desires, our hawa. No, we follow what Allah Ta'ala has ordained for us. So by implication, it means that doing all of these private acts outside, is not permissible for the Muslim. Then when they do it outside, they become like the shayateen. And even when they broadcast, they say what they did, in the confines of their home outside, they still look like those shayateen. They are still similar, in that sense, with the shayateen who go outside and do such. May Allah save us from such. So keeping secrets is a very crucial aspect of Islam. The life of a believer should be such that he does not go out to broadcast something that belongs to another person. For example, a case study of Ibn Mas'ud, who somebody came to meet him. Someone came to meet him and said, Ya Ibn Mas'ud, should I not tell you, or are you not concerned that I should tell you about so and so companion? He mentioned the name, and about the matter of drink alcohol draping from his beard. And Ibn Mas'ud said, we have been commanded by Allah that we should not go into the privacy of others. So he told the companion, he said, if we see something about the character of this particular man you just mentioned that is questionable, then we'll ask him. Otherwise, we don't say anything, we don't go into any private talks. We don't say, what happened to your beard? Or I heard that alcohol is dripping from your beard. No, we don't do that. So don't even tell me. That's the fact. That's the point now. So you don't even need to tell me because it's not my business. It's not my concern. So we don't need to plunge into people's privacies, except there's things that are very obvious. Now, allow me to divert a little bit to the issue of married men and women, husband and a wife. Many a times people ask these questions to the shuyukh, to those who are knowledgeable. Alhamdulillah, it is a good thing in the first place that people ask questions, because Allah says that we should ask those who are knowledgeable if we do not know. So they ask these questions and they say, is it permissible for a man, for example, to request for the password of his wife, maybe her social media account or her computer set and so on? And then we say it is. The scholars have given their opinions, their verdict, that Allah Ta'ala has commanded us in the Quran that we should avoid suspicion as much as possible, because it will lead us to nothing but error. You understand? So when men start to ask for their wives' passwords to go into their computer set and so on, it could be that it is okay if they have found certain evidences that show that, okay, this woman has something she's doing against Allah's command. So let's go into it. Let's see. Let's check. However, if there's nothing like that, then it is not right, because at the end of the day, it will lead them to going into suspicions, which may allow the shaitan to come into their midst and say, no, this woman is like this man is like that, And then after, you see many situations where after the man has asked for the wife's password, the wife will say, okay, well, give me your own too. Give me your own too. I need to have your own too. And then when the man starts saying, no, this is my business account, now there's something fishy there. You must start saying, well, I don't give you all my password, and you don't give me your own. It becomes a problem. So as a result, the shaitan comes into the family in that area. So we must try as much as possible to avoid the interference of the shaitan in our family affairs.
So what you're saying now is that allowing the woman to have her own privacy, it's also an amanah.
Yes. It is. We have to trust each other. Yeah, that's the basic line. We have to trust, because in Islam, believers trust one another. Regardless of whether they are your brothers by blood relation or whether they are your spouses or your mothers or fathers, you have to trust each other. Now, so may Allah make it easy for us. So we have to keep each other secret so that we don't go about broadcasting the secret. Okay, now the third and final scenario of Amanna is talking about positions of authority, responsibilities, duties, and whether these responsibilities are social or public. You see, even areas, public offices and the position of authorities are a trust for us. The Prophet said, "Kullukum ra'i." All of you are leaders, you are shepherds, and Allah Ta'ala will ask you about your flock when you go back to Him. And I'll ask you, for example, how you took care of your family, how you took care of everything that Allah Ta'ala has placed under your care. So by implication, when we are given such positions, we must understand that it's Allah Ta'ala that has given this position to us. Number one is that we must not look for the position, because the Prophet said that we should not give anybody that looks for a position of authority should not be given to it. And I think there's a narration where the Prophet told us that when somebody seeks for a position of authority and then he gets it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take away those angels that are supposed to guard him to make certain decisions regarding that office. Allah will take those angels away. But if he does not, vie for that position, he does not look for it, and then he gets it, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will support him with those angels who will come to meet him, assist him, aid him in making decisions so that the work will go flawlessly as much as possible.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Ustaz, for that very beautiful talk. For those just joining us, this is Al-Haqq Networks live on EBS. We are on the Al-Bayan segment, and today's topic remains Amanna, which is trust. Ustaz, let me just briefly ask. You did mention something when you said it's also an Amanna when you find something on the floor and you are expected to announce the item for its owner. What if you do not find that owner? What do you do with that particular item?
Okay. The ruling is that we keep it in our possession for a number of time, for a number of years. Now, some say a year, some say 2 years. So you keep it and then you ask for the owner, and if you don't find the owner, then you can use it.
Okay, mashallah. That's what brought me to this particular question was that I was walking one time on a very small path, and somebody whom I respected to be, you know, an elderly person, walked behind me and found, I saw the money, but I just went past. But he saw the money and picked it. So his immediate, he was not a Muslim though, but his immediate response was that it was God that gave it to him. You know, so I was like, you're supposed to leave it there. You know, for the person who left it there, maybe perhaps if he's coming back, he will find it. But he took it and said that was God's gift to him, and it was something. So I now remember that particular incident. So, mashallah. Viewers at home, that is all we can take on this segment of Bayan. Inshallah, we thank our stars, Brother Mustafa A. Suleiman, who is the Amir of Umabai Muslim community. We thank you, your stars, for coming. We hope that when we extend our invitation, you will honor it, inshallah. MashaAllah, barakallahu fikum. Viewers at home, inshallah, we'll be moving on to the widow segment. If we are ready with that, with the technical team, inshallah, we'll put a call through to Sharifa Basiru, inshallah. So while that is being taken care of, don't forget, you know, our social media platform is well equipped with information. You can go to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as YouTube. We have content there that's very, very much beneficial. Please go to those platforms to like them and subscribe to our YouTube channels, as well as follow our Facebook page, inshallah. Don't forget to also need your support on this program in order for us to be able to, you know, scale through the month of Ramadan. We need your support, bi'idhnillah. We call upon you to help the deen of Allah, so that we'll be able to, you know, carry on this noble journey, inshallah. While we are still waiting for the widows segments to kickstart, inshallah, we will still be running through the Quranic competition, which was kickstarted on Sunday. Inshallah, it's going to be every week of the month of Ramadan, every Sunday. The last section A, Group A, we had about 10 participants, and inshallah, 5 were able to skate through to the next stage, inshallah. Among those who were able to make it to the next stage is, on the 5th list is Balikis Musa Aliyu, who got 20 points. Muhammad Saraisu. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We're speaking to Mrs. Mujibat Tajuddin.
Yes.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. How are you, madam?
Wa alaikum salam.
How is the fasting, mashallah?
Fine, sir.
Okay, alhamdulillah. I hope you are coping well, inshallah, generally.
Amen.
Alhamdulillah. On behalf of Kifayat said we should give you a small bag of rice, a small bag of semo, and 1 liter of oil, inshallah. Courtesy Kifayat.
Thank you. Outside.
You come to number 56 at Bayo Ade House, Lagos Street, to pick the items up, inshallah.
Number 15.
Number 56, Lagos Street.
For number 6.
Yes.
Now for this, I'll be tomorrow.
You can pick it up anytime, inshallah. But probably tomorrow, because,
Tomorrow.
yes, inshallah. Tomorrow, if you have the time, pick it up, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll call you.
Okay,
tomorrow.
inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. That was Mrs. Mujidat Tajuddin, inshallah. We pray may Allah grant Kifayat the blessings for sponsoring the widows, inshallah. So if we can put a call through to Mrs. Khadijat Enekele, inshallah, we'll be waiting for that response from her, inshallah. But while that is going on, as we have mentioned before, the rundown of the qualifying of the Group A, Bilikis Musa with 20 points, Muhammad Saraisu with 20 points, Abdullah Usman with 21 points, Aisha Nur Topida. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Well done, sir.
Well done, madam. Are we on to Mrs. Khadijat Enekele?
Yes, sir.
You are live at Al-haqq Networks on EBS.
Eh?
I said we are on to you live on Al-haqq Networks EBS.
Students?
Adult Broadcasting Service. How are you, madam?
Fine, sir.
How are you there? How everything, madam? How the Ramadan?
Alhamdulillah, Ramadan Kareem, sir.
Ramadan Kareem to you too. How you the cope? How the matter? How the general situation? My mama. How na day that side?
We thank God. Alhamdulillah. We thank for my parents now.
Alhamdulillah. How the children? How you take the cope with the children now?
We don't manage them, my brother. We manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't say when you dey take care of them. How long you don't dey when you dey take care of the children?
When I don't.
When you dey take care of the children.
You see the hook, I know they hear well.
Okay. Courtesy of Kifaya. Kifaya say make we give you one small bag of rice.
Okay.
One small bag of semo.
Okay.
And one small 1 liter of oil. Kifaya say make we give you now. Make we give you.
Thank you, sir. Now go to what you, sir.
Amen, ya Rob. Make you go number 56 Lagos Street for Bayode House. Go collect am from tomorrow.
Where I come collect am tomorrow?
Yes, number 56 for Bayode House, Lagos Street.
For Lagos Street?
Yes.
Now this number go call before I
yes, you fit call this number, they go direct you. Call this number. Okay, mommy, make you pray for us for this Ramadan, inshallah. Pray for us, inshallah.
We dey pray, Allah go reward.
Amen. Amen, ya Rab. Amen.
Now up forever, now that go be, now never go back forever.
Amen, ya Rab.
Allah go bless, now Allah go bless. The son all this from the one that Allah go talk now for us.
Amen, ya Rab. Amen. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Jazakallah khairan. That was Mrs. Khadijat Inekele there, inshallah. Inshallah, we'll continue with this segment tomorrow. This is all we have for this segment. Inshallah, we'll be going back to, okay, I think we still have one more. Okay, Ustaz, inshallah, I think, okay, before that call will be coming through, inshallah, I think we still have our Ustaz to ask 1 or 2 questions, inshallah. Ustaz, you did mention just now that I wanted to pick that up when you said in the office, that's also a trust. What is the situation that we are now currently in the sense of when somebody assumes office, he takes it as an opportunity for him to amass wealth. What are the implications of that? It has become a culture now. So this has to be solved, inshallah.
You see, the problem we have in the first place is having people to come and say, I want this office. Now, the truth is, nobody comes forth to request or desire a particular office, except there is something there to be desired. Now, when the person gets his hand on those, whatever he wants, he will definitely embezzle. It is not permissible for a believer to take something that does not belong to him, especially if it belongs to the public, the society, the Muslims. So if he takes such, then it becomes the right of the people that he has infringed. And in Qiyamah, people will come to meet Allah Ta'ala and say, some person took something from us, and he will be made to pay. The Prophet said he will have to pay with his good deeds, because there will be no dinars and there will be no gold. So he will have to go with his good deeds. And if there does not have good deeds, the sins of those persons whose rights have been infringed will be taken and put added to his own account of sins.
MashaAllah. So that's viewers at home, you have heard, and that's a very, very detrimental situation when you think you have made it to paradise, and when you get to your robbed space, and all you need to do is to pay from what you have been embezzling. So we urge you, inshallah, if you are engaged in such things, we ask you to desist from it, that the penalty is great. And that's all we will be able to take for this segment. Inshallah, we'll go